Hello, everybody. Cohenversations number 41. It is Tuesday, May 12th, which seems like it should be a special day, but I don't think it is. Anyway, how is everyone today? I am much more grounded today than I was yesterday, I'm glad to say. Um, Work situations are kind of evening out. We're actually getting a handle on our assignments, which is very nice, and we're figuring out how to do things. And so it wasn't quite so frantic today. We actually got a lot done. I'm glad to see that. Um, I'm hoping that this is actually broadcasting. We don't have anyone visible yet. No one's watching yet. Someone's here, so now I know I am actually visible. Good for me. Um, Hi. I'm not sure who's watching at this point, but I see the little eye, so good for us. Anyway, I got a suggestion to talk about reintegrating into society, and I think it is a good topic. Definitely not a unique topic. Everyone's talking about it in one way or another. Um, Things are starting to open up in California slowly, thankfully. Um, But as somebody who has returned to work, I understand the challenges. So, oh, my single viewer left. Wow. Wow. Take the steak from my heart. Anyway, um, I'll just keep talking anyway. Someone will join at some point or another. Here's the way I'm looking at things. I can only speak for myself. I am very eager to get back to a normal life. I really eat at a restaurant. I really want to go to a movie. I want to go work on a play. Many that are my normal life, I would like to start again. Work wasn't at the top of my list for things I would like to start, but that's where it ends up being. Excuse me. But I find as I go back to work that there are some things that are tough to break. Um, the other day, I was working with other people. We were distant, but my initial response when I saw them was to run over, either give them a hug or shake a hand. Myself, I did not do it. I did not need to be told not to do it, but that was the instinct. I think that will only be harder and harder as we run into more and more people that we know and care about and have missed being in contact with. So that is really something that we're going to have to keep our eye on. And when it comes right down to it, this is a major test of our character. Um, I've said before in many of these things, hi Owen, I said before in many of these things um, that we're basically fairly self-centered creatures. I think we can all agree at that. We all want what we want. I assume you meant hello. Okay, good. Anyway, Owen just said hell. Um, and we all want things to be normal. We want things to go back to the way they were, exactly the way they were. We don't want to give up our individual desires. Um, that's just human nature. But I would like to think, well, let me back up a little bit. Going into quarantine has been tedious and boring and frustrating. Um, but all in all, going into quarantine was the easy part. Reintegrating is the hard part because there are not going to be controls. There are going to be guidelines. And human beings are not good with guidelines. I think I can say that fairly certainly. We're not good with guidelines. We look to cut corners. I don't know anyone who actually sticks to the speed limit 100% of the time. We look at the speed limit as a guideline. Um, we look for excuses to get away with things. It's just the way we are. We're lazy. We're selfish. We're definitely self-centered. So as we begin to reintegrate into society, we need to remember the operative word there. Society, not the reintegration. Reintegration is easy. We walk outside. We talk to people. We open up businesses. Um, we we go back to the way we were immediately. But the important thing is this is an opportunity for us to better ourselves. And by bettering ourselves, I don't mean changing our behaviors. I mean changing our attitude. Taking a moment to think of the other guy first. To think of society in general before ourselves. And it's not easy. It's, believe me, it's not easy. I've now been back to work for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'm beginning my third week, I guess, back to work. It's not easy. I mean, we'll be in a room. I'll be in a room with two other people, and we'll be wearing masks. The masks are uncomfortable, and it gets hot, and I feel sweat on my upper lip, and I hate it. And I look for an opportunity to remove the mask because it's uncomfortable for me. But it's also a safeguard for the other people there. So I have to remind myself that the other people maybe have more to lose than I do. I'm working with my friend Larry. He's got a little girl. He's got a wife. He's important too. I'm pretty sure that I don't have COVID, but why take the chance? And just because I want to go and eat in a restaurant doesn't mean it's a good idea right now. And that's not because I'm afraid of catching anything. I just know that society in general don't like to follow rules. Or doesn't like to follow rules. Society is a singular. Doesn't like to follow rules. So if I can lead by example, if each of us can lead by example, we're all going to be much better off. We know, oh, warning, political statement coming. We know that the political machine is not moving fast enough or in a well enough organized fashion to wipe this virus from the face of the earth in any time soon. Just because government is not forcing us to behave in a certain way. Doesn't mean that we as a society shouldn't take that lead and self-govern a bit. So, here's my challenge to everybody who might be listening to this at one point or another. A self-governed entity. Before you make a choice, before you participate in an action of some kind, ask yourself if what you are choosing to do could hurt somebody, could put somebody in danger, could make someone else uncomfortable. And if the answer is yes, and if by curtailing that action, even though it may disappoint you, even though you may feel cheated, if by curtailing that action you can walk away and say, I looked out for another person before selfishly doing what I really wanted to do, maybe we might become a better society. And maybe that will move on beyond the virus. You know, maybe the virus is the impetus that we need to start caring about other people a little bit more than we care about ourselves. And trust me, if we can care about other people just a tiny bit more than ourselves, think how much we will be caring about them, because we all care about ourselves way too much. So that's my challenge for you today, is the next time something comes up where you might get a chance to do something you want, ask yourself two questions. Is it really, really that important for you to do it? And will it hurt somebody else? And if either of those answers even begins to move you in the right direction, then good for you. Good for all of us. And let's watch society actually become a society instead of a bunch of selfish individuals going about their day doing just what they want for themselves. Okay, enough chastising. And now back to this important message. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Stay far apart from each other. I do really love you, and thank you for listening. And I will be talking to you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves.